Hey everybody, welcome to Comics Covered. Matt, don't think I didn't hear that whistle in the during the intro there.
No,
You're whistling along.
yeah,
It's catchy. It's catchy. This is Comics Covered, our weekly show from the co-founders of Cover Price. I'm John. That's Matt. Over that way, and we are here to talk comics, but what's going on in the week, anything that's kind of new with the website. Just here to have a good time.
Word.
How you doing, Matt? Yeah.
Good, man. It was a busy weekend for me. It's just trying to recover from it. It's just we had graduations, confirmations, birthday parties, graduation parties, literally every all day Friday, all day Saturday, all day yesterday. So it was just literally just in the sun for like 2 days straight.
As bald men, that's always hard. It's like a little egg.
No, I totally got burned Friday.
Yeah. Well, it's not bad. Not bad. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day. And this was your first Father's Day.
There goes Matt. It was my first Father's Day. I hope I did it right. I ate a big English style breakfast. I don't have the Father's Day robe or the slippers, but I figure the kid will get that for me in the when he can start walking and talking. We went to Santa Barbara area and did some shopping and some like hanging out. It was nice. How about you?
Nice. Was just running around, not doing anything related for myself. That's pretty much the short version.
Oh, so is that what happens after 14 years of being a father?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, Father's Day, it's odd. I don't know if it's for everyone else, but people just schedule things on Father's Day. So we had like a recital and a confirmation and a whole bunch of other stuff on Father's Day. It's like, so there literally wasn't time for Father's Day at all that day. And I, if they did that for Mother's Day, it would be terrible.
yeah.
Like the only thing I want, just to sleep in, just a little bit, just a little bit. Yeah.
The baby didn't let me sleep in. It was like 5:30, 6 a.m. and all of a sudden you feel like some shaking, and you're just like, oh, he's waking up.
Well, you got a baby, and babies require you to feed them and keep them alive. So
that's true. That's what they say.
Yeah,
but so far you've seen him. He's a cutie. He's fun.
He's pretty freaking adorable.
Yeah, just like his dad. Hey.
Whoa, hey. I did get this shirt. I got this Neil Adams Superman shirt for Father's Day.
Oh, well, there you go.
Perfect timing for the film. So I'll have to wear this to Superman. I'll be that guy, Yeah,
well, you'll be one of many of those guys.
So I'm a Superman fan. I have the shirt.
Who were we talking? We were talking to the guy at DC, and he was like, everyone's like, "Oh, I'm the biggest Batman fan. I watch all the movies. What about the comics? Oh no, I don't read any of the comics."
Yeah. Tell the DC guy that you don't read the comics. Yeah, you're not a Batman fan.
Smart move.
If you're a true Batman fan, you would know that they have not made a good Batman film ever. Yeah, that's right. I said it.
Whoa, controversial. I will say they've made good, like bits and parts of good Batman films.
Yes, every Batman has a good mixture of really good, strong Batman elements, but I've never seen like the Batman I want. And when I think about Batman, I do think of like the late '80s Batman, and I also think of Jim Lee's Batman. Is kind of my I want that detective, which you got a lot of in the Batman, right?
Yeah.
But I know it was year 2, but I really didn't like that he was like scared of heights. like I think with Batman, you got to be at that point. You got to be pretty good with heights.
I mean, you've been training for like what 10, 15 years. You're good with heights.
Yeah, you would think heights is like behind you at this point.
You did your ninjutsu stuff. You climb trees. You jump from buildings. Right. You're okay with heights.
And I know this is going to be a Batman rant, but like animated Batman is really like the iconic Batman to me. The animated series Batman of just the guy in the shadows instilling the fear, and the second before like if he sees a group of thugs or a group of villains, he is already calculated what that first move is going to be. He's going to take out like pretty much all of them before he even lands into the thick of the fight. So like in the Batman, when he's like tapping on the bat on the wall and just strolls right up to a group of guys, like, come on, that's not Batman. He's thinking ahead of that, like way ahead of that. And I know it's year 2, but this is going to set me off. This is the one thing I'm super. You can do whatever you want with Marvel. I don't really care. I'm there for the ride, right? I'm super picky with Batman.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah, he was. It's
weird. It's the only character I'm like,
because he doesn't have superpowers, right? And he's kind of like he's the relatable one, minus the being a billionaire and all that stuff.
Well, he's just cool. You know, he's just a cool character.
He is just
the fact that what makes Batman like the worst thing that they said in the Zack Snyder, and I actually enjoyed the Snack Snyder. The thing I actually enjoyed those films, but one of the worst lines I hated was like, "What's your superpower?" He's like, "I'm rich." I'm like, "Yeah, you don't get that."
Yeah, and he's walking around not as Batman. He's just like, "Hey, I'm Bruce Wayne. Hey, all the Justice League people know who I am." Like,
right.
No, that really bugged me. However, the Batman versus Superman fight scene where he's fighting the guys when Martha Kent is being captured and all that stuff, that was a good Batman fight scene. That was like,
yeah, and I know it was a rundown Batman. He takes one in the shoulder, which maybe is just that's an older Batman thing. I still think he would have. I think there would have been even a little more planning that would have went into, like, he would have thought more.
Yeah,
would have been a little more thoughtful even going into that fight, instead of taking them one by one. That's my thing. It's like, it was a good fight scene, and I did enjoy it, but like, I want a Batman who throws a cloud of smoke and there's only one person standing, out of it all.
Yeah. I mean, or just throws the batarang right into the bullet, the gun barrel, and it explodes in the guy's face. Like, just
it's funny. I don't even know how we got on this rant, but essentially, we are leading into a Superman film, right? And that Superman film is about to make or break the DC universe for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I know we've talked about this at length in the past couple weeks, and there is a lot riding on it. I'm excited about Superman a lot. Of course, I go in there with great reservation, but again, I don't have the same sensitivity or concerns of them doing a perfect Superman.
Yeah.
I give a little more leeway when it comes to that. Someone said something actually that was really interesting, that and I don't know if this is true, but Superman is essentially like the evolved version of Smallville. So like, Smallville was essentially the history leading into this film.
I haven't heard that, but makes sense. I'm excited because they're dropping him into, instead of a film that's just going to be like, hey, this is Superman's origin story, and oh no, the people from Krypton are still alive kind of thing. It's going to be like a world of superheroes, and there's already like Mr. Terrific and Hot Girl and stuff like that, and Green Lantern, Guy Gardner, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's going to be cool to see the dynamic and playfulness in it. And I don't know, I'm not a big Superman fan. I mean, he's great, but like this film, I'm actually kind of excited about. More than Fantastic Four.
I do love Superman, and I like that they gave him a little bit, a little more dimension. At least in the trailer. Did you see the clip that was going around of Nathan Fillion's Green Lantern, of him swatting the using his thing and doing the middle finger and
it's fantastic. It's gonna be fun seeing all the heroes in a more kind of Suicide Squad-esque kind of like banter.
Well, see, that's my concern, is I hope that it's not too Suicide Squad.
I mean, like, we have the Monster Commandos. I think James Gunn does a good job of that type of like carrying each character with banter and stuff like that. It's very Joss Whedon kind of feeling, in my opinion. But We'll see. We'll see. I mean,
yeah. Collector 34 said he's looking forward to it. Watched all the trailers. Take me home, Crypto. Yeah, everyone's like, don't kill the dog. You better not kill.
oh, you kill the dog, you kill the franchise. Is all I'm saying.
That's it. Like that's it. He's the Crypto's the anchor being of the DC universe.
Rightly so, though. I mean, yeah, you're not going to mess with Crypto. Can you kill Crypto? I mean, he's got the same. What is it? He's got the same powers as Superman, right? Is it Crypto?
Yeah, I mean, but like a dog equivalent, you know.
Is he from Krypton? Is that like the thing?
You know, that's a really good. You know, I've actually never really gone into the backstory of what Crypto's origin is.
Jor-El's neighbor was like, "I love my dog so much, I got to put him in a little thing." And
he's like, forget my kids. I'm just gonna stick my dog in here.
Yeah, but then he grew up in Kansas at a puppy mill or whatever, and he got away. He saved them all, and I don't know his origin story, but that sounds fun.
Here, let's see. What is the origin of Crypto?
Tom Hanks has a whole speech on not killing a dog in movies. Yeah,
it's true. He was originally the pet dog of Kal-El on Krypton. So he was used by Kal-El's father Jor-El in a test of the prototype rocket. So he sent off a prototype rocket with Crypto in it. Sending Kal-El to Earth. So Crypto's like Supergirl. The rocket was knocked off course and he drifted in space for years before finally landing on Earth. So they're just like, hey, you know this origin story we did with Supergirl? What if it's a dog?
It seems hurtful. But also that was back in the time when they were just trying everything. They're throwing everything at comics, and they were just kind of like, let's put a monkey in there. Let's do a dog. Right. Let's do Mr. Mixaplixik or whatever.
There's Streaky the cat, which is the Flash cat.
See?
Then there's different origins. There's a post-crisis origin where the dog is created by Lex Luthor. Then there was a genetically engineered version of him from Krypton. That's pretty much it.
We are so going off on a tangent. I'm going to bring us back.
I know. We haven't even got to the...
I know. I'm going to bring us back. The thing I like about Batman is the DC animation. And that is why I think a lot of the Mr. Miracle popped up on the top 10.
No, that is not why.
Oh, no, I thought it was. I thought it was because of DC.
Wait, was it? Let's see, Miracle Man. Oh, yes, you're right. Yes, you're right. Yes. You're right. Yes.
You shame me in private, Matt, not in front of people.
Right. It's just a knee-jerk reaction. Sorry.
Sure.
No, that's right.
Comics.
No, that'll be fun. I always like they're one of my favorite relationships in comics, outside of Peter Parker and Mary Jane. Although that's very like their more traditional relationship, but I really enjoy their relationship because it's like she's from Apocalypse, and well, I guess they're both from Apocalypse, right?
Yeah, and she was one of the grandma's whatever, right?
Yeah, what's her name? Yeah, but Mr. Miracle is just such a freaking cool character.
I don't know too much about him. He gets out of things, right? His whole thing is like he's got some sort of, is it a probability thing, or is it just he's just damn like super good?
Yeah, what is it? Mr. Miracle powers. Let's get this right. If there's a super user out there or a super fan, you can tell us. He's basically like the ultimate escape artist. He can get out of pretty much any inescapable scenario.
Like David Blaine, but like kind of cooler.
Yeah, David Blaine, but superpowers.
But like less creepy.
Right. but a little more exciting. His escapes are more due to skill and intellect than straight up superpowers. So it's not like the Marvel's version, which is
Long Shot.
I'm thinking of Ben, Mr. Longshort.
Yeah,
Long Shot. Yeah, Long Shot. Yeah, Long Shot. So I think it's kind of like it's like a non-mutant version of that. But he also has like the mother box, right?
Right.
And the mother boxes always do a lot. Like they have their own set of powers.
And also it's a love story in a crazy world like Apocalypse. It's nice that these two kids could find each other and get out of crazy situations and survive.
That's fun. Derek has Big Bardas first.
Nice.
Nice. I wanted to throw up a comment. Where was it? It was Derek. Derek said, next time we see Phil, tell him a great job on the Free Zone interview. So yeah, we dabbled at C2E2. We did a few interviews with Ickpot and Jenny Friezon, and we had a really great conversation with them. It's kind of like our dipping our toes into the interview world, which is kind of the thought process we had behind of like, this show is eventually going to turn into that, have someone on, interview them, and that's probably what the show will evolve to, unless you like it as is, as unprofessional and unpolished as it is.
We're spunky though. We try.
Yeah, but the thought process was to turn this into more of a interview informational show, you know. But if you like that interview, you want more, just let us know and we'll do more. But
yeah, it was a lot of fun, and it was funny because we were there during the interview and we were kind of setting it up with Phil and everybody. And Jenny had just finished signing probably 1 billion comics and was exhausted. And she was a total trooper. She was like, we don't have to do this right now. She's like, no, I said I would. Let's do it. And then she just turned it on and she was so sweet and everything was good. But the other thing is, I loved that you started asking kind of non-known questions. Like you jumped into the whole, and we asked Phil in advance, like how to ask him these questions. But you prompted like, what came first, Hack Slash or the Voltron? And that was a cool.
Yeah, that's been debated amongst us fans, and she's been asked it before too. But it was great to hear her perspective directly and have it recorded, and and also just hear her excitement of like, that time and place when she was looking for copies of both those books at the same time, essentially at comic book shops.
That's one thing I do like about talking to creators at cons and stuff, especially when we're like talking about cover price and stuff. Like they all light up when you ask them more about like how they got started and why they did it, and like the whole thing. I remember I said this already before, but like Lobos, who was so nice and he gave me this 99 signed. He said I asked him about his signature and like he took me aside and he was like, let me tell you real quick. You see those 3 little lines, the 1, 2, 3. I'm going in like reverse order here. I said, yeah, what is that? So his name's Wolf. Lobos is like Wolf. That was an homage to Wolverine's Slash, and I always thought that was really neat. Like little things like that you never hear about or think about.
With a lot of those people, like Lobos, he was just a regular comic fan. Like I don't know, like 6-7 years ago, right? And just decided to, I don't know how he was always a good artist, but decided to like really go for it, show his portfolio around, at a Comic-Con like 7 years ago. And then
he did it at the Comic-Con? That's crazy.
Yeah, like these guys, there's a lot of there's a lot of hustle. That's why we talked about variants in the past, and everyone, a lot of people have deep feelings about variants, and we've hashed that out pretty in a detailed way over the past couple of weeks. But there's a lot of it gives a lot of artists opportunities to get into the space. The more variants there are available to them, the more they can ease into it. And we've talked about like Night of Comics was telling me that they're debuting some artists on one of their Red Sonja books, and it's very like you never know what these artists will do, if they'll take off, or and the thing is, it's so easy to ignore Red Sonja and Vampirella books because there's so many of them, which makes them perfect books for like perfect sneaky books down the road. Because they just like Mark Spears, like he did a Vampirella and a Red Sonja, a Vampirella and a Red Sonja book with 616, and like that book, you could have bought it for $5, like each book for $5. And the second he got popular, those jumped to like 100 plus raw, to $300 9.8s. So it's interesting to like, you just never know when some of these artists will pop. And Jenny is just one of those who, here's something you guys can watch the interview, but I think it's up on YouTube now. what's interesting, like a lot of people don't know that her brother-in-law is Tim Seeley of Hack Slash. So that was her first book, was Hack Slash. He gave her her first job on his book.
And yeah, I mean that kind of stuff. It's amazing.
Bobby put the link to the interview in there.
Yeah. So if you guys are interested in reading the full interview or watching the full interview, we do the transcripts here. If you go to CP Content, go to Cover Price Spotlight, and it's in one of these. But yeah, we'll do more interviews in the future. And if it's helpful to you guys, it is a lot of work and a lot of effort, but I do think it's kind of fun and it pays off.
Yeah,
for sure.
And it's us dabbling in it. So literally, we're just kind of,
dipping our toes.
We've been around for a little bit, but we're still kind of just figuring out our content now, and what we want to do with it, and the next year as we are working towards an app and so much more, we're kind of trying to test to see what we're good at, what we stay in our own lane at.
We found out we suck at this. So,
there's a lot of lessons from other companies. Like, I don't know if you were watching, but Unknown Comics had a really nice, a very honest, upfront post about, they're talking about their past their recent issues. And a lot of people were like, oh, they're going out of business. I was told by 2 different people that they were going out of business. And it was like, word of a word, word passed from one person to the other. And then they addressed all that, and they're like, we're not going out of business. Like, here's the thing: we were doing, we were selling books, we were selling new books. Then we started doing our own exclusives. Then we got really into doing our own exclusives. Then we were doing shared exclusives. Then we were repping artists, and then we were like going to shows and showing out, taking these artists around. Then we were trying, like, they were doing too much. And that's what he said. They just got distracted by doing all this other stuff. And it's kind of like, you focus, you need to hyper focus back on what your core business was, and then do the things that you want to do outside of that, and what makes sense in that business while not getting distracted. I mean, it goes back to, we always talk about the WeWork model, right? It's like they were very successful in creating the WeWork spaces, and then they tried to do all this other stuff.
We life and we whatever, yeah.
We live and we fly and all that. They were trying to do an airline and a school, and they kind of imploded, but they came back from it. But again, it goes again, like, what's good for you? What's good for us as a company. So
yeah, I mean, we always say that our core thing is our valuations and being accurate, and obviously that's what we build everything around. So we're constantly investing time and energy into refining, making better. But yeah, but now, I mean, we've been around almost 7 years, 8 years. Like, now we dip our toes. We try other things, and it's exciting. It's fun. And the app is coming. The other cool new updates and features. The database is almost built and finished. So it's gonna be pretty cool. Are you gonna play a little bit of an interview, or?
No, I'm just gonna show you guys. Just dropping the link here. So I'm gonna start doing this. I'll also put it into the post chat. So there's a link if you guys want to like pop it up and check it out. But yeah, we brought Phil with us. So we were at the No Mask booth. Well, she was at the No Mask booth signing. Like, there's no mask right there. He's exhausted. Poor guy.
Yeah, they're all running around. Yeah,
he's a cool dude. He's probably listening right now. If you are, what up, No Mask? There's Phil and Jenny. Look, she's judging him.
But I like that Cover Price microphone. That's the ticket.
That's right. We got that from oh my god, who's the company that makes that stuff?
You're telling me.
Oh my god,
you gotta give them a shout out. Yeah.
Oh man, it's something like oh my god, I can't think of it now. I gotta do it now because I gotta give them a proper shout out.
But yeah, no, it was fun. It was. I really enjoy it. I mean, the conversations and the stories of everybody when we interview them is so good. And
Whamstand.
Whamstand.
Whamstand. Yeah. So if you go to their Instagram, Instagram account. Wham stand. No, they can do a lot of this is all 3D printed stuff. But what's really cool is the custom logos they can do, like any comic book character, any comic book logo, any convention logo, your own individual logo. I mean, we ordered I think 2 things, and he sent me like all these stands and all these like individual like he loaded. Let's say that again. Loaded us up. There we go. Can't even talk today. My brain is on. So yeah, Wham Stand, they're awesome. But going back to
I was gonna say let's jump back into the top 10, and then let's jump into the crowdsourcing stuff.
Yeah, Miss Friesen will be at Heroes Con. Here's a little tip for those that are going there, and maybe save some money if you are going JSS. I mean, you probably already know this, but she has original art with her. And it's more affordable than you think. Like the Hello Darkness ones were, I think, $1,000 a piece. You know, and I know that sounds like a lot, but an original cover from Jenny Friesen, $4,000 is a no-brainer. Like next time, I'm probably just going to go and grab something just because that's a really good deal. You can't get original art from people to do a commission for that price. So it's something like carve out some cash. Go there, go to her booth, go early, see what she brought with her, and hopefully something will speak to you. But that was a fun little tip. I wish I knew that before I spent all my money. Looking at the top 10, I always know it's a quiet week when there's no big news. Yeah, JSS Brooklyn's got it. He knows what he's doing. It's a quiet week when we have all these like kind of classic books popping up. When New Mutants 98 and Spawn pops back up, that there's not a lot of stuff moving, not a lot of big news driving books that week. Like the Mr. Miracle stuff was the biggest, and then there was just The World to Come is still pretty hot. Yeah, I mean the guys are going to go over these lists, but then you had like these other books pop in. Like there just wasn't any major like eye-opening trends this week. No surprises. We did get an email from someone last week that said we were a shill for Mark Spears, and I'm like, dude, these books sell like crazy. It's like we don't put anything on the list just so everyone knows.
Yeah, Mark, one creator pays us.
Yeah, right. Yeah. In fact, the last book that he did, this goes to prove, like he did a book with the skull cover, and at the bottom, let's see if I can show it. But this is not just to yell at Mark Spears for omitting us.
Derek, that Spawn 9/8 slab, the top sale was $170 on the top 10. Just FYI, since you asked.
Let's see, where was it? Was it? So now we're not a shill. While I show you more Mark Spears books. Let's see, where was it? I forget what number it was. So that's why I gotta drill down to it. Man, there's a lot. Jeez Louise. Guy's busy. Mm-hmm. Man, oh man. Okay, this one. So down here, there's a shout out to all the people that helped him, help promote him and give him, basically help him become popular. We are not in this.
That's hurtful. You were talking about his crowdsourcing thing, crowdfunding.
Yeah, we were one of the first ones. McClay was the first, and when we also featured his crowdfunding early on. But yes, we're not on. So that's the go. That just shows you that Colin's on there. Everyone else is on there,
unless we paid him not to include us.
Yeah, so we were not included there. So yeah, that's how much we're not a show.
You know what? Now we're gonna ban him from this.
I was a little offended. It was like, I'm like, oh, actually, this helps me. That helps us build a narrative that. I mean, granted, it's true. We didn't promote him. That's the thing. He did make the top 10, but it was all because people were buying the book. It wasn't that we put him on the list. It was his fans put him on the list. So in a lot of ways, it was we technically didn't promote you know, because people did.
Matt,
So,
Derek has a question. Is there a reason the Disney Amazing Spider-Man covers seem to be selling? They have been popping up on and off the lists.
yeah, they were really like all over
The Shakers and the
the
Movers.
movers list last week. They didn't make the top 10, but at least I don't know if they've shifted around a lot. I mean, the thing to remember with those is you have a lot of crossover of people who love Disney and people who love Marvel, right? And it's kind of a no-brainer that they would like these homage covers. And they're very cheap and easy to get. So when you have those two combinations, those are books that sell. Like a lot of these books, you look at a lot of the books on this list, you know, there's a good chunk of them that are on here because they are cheap and easy to find. You know, more or less. I mean, a lot of these are, you know, $10, $20 books. But, you know, a lot of these books pop, like the Spawn book, you know, sold, you know, it's only 14. But let's go to the top. You can kind of look up here. Like this Monster book is sold, what, 33. It's a $10 book. You know, it's not like anything crazy. I think this Batman book is like an $8 book, 30 book, you know, 30 copies. I think it's just you'll see these little micro trends. Also, we do see a surge of there will sometimes be like because we bring in sales from like my comic shop. Sometimes my comic shop will take books that sell for like $10, and then they'll just list them out for like $2 a piece, or $1 a piece. And then there will be like someone will just buy them all because, you know, probably another retailer that knows they can move them at conventions. You know, they're good kid books. They're good books to like, you know, sell for like $1 or $2 over what they paid for. Those are like someone was telling me, a retailer was telling me that it's interesting this is something we should probably think about, but every convention has its own little micro collector base. Like, he was like, I'll bring X-Men to Florida and no one will buy it. And then I'll bring it to New York and it's the only thing that sells. You know, and then you come to the West Coast and then, you know, they're buying something else. So it is kind of logistical of the buying trends. And you kind of have to know, you know, where you're going and what books to bring if you're looking at moving stuff. Also, a big part of that is also when who the guests are around that convention. So if you know that there's going to be, I don't know, someone related to, you know, that's on a cover, or I'm trying to think of some good example.
They had Starship Troopers and some Buffy people at like one con. Are you saying like
sure? Like if you know they're going to be there, you'd bring a lot of Buffy books with you, right? And you'd bring
stuff, and yeah.
It all depends. You know, when and where, which is why a lot of the tidal wave stuff sells so well, because they do that. They kind of plan, like I think at MegaCon Dallas Fan Expo, the cast of Back to the Future were there, so they had a lot of famed Michael J. Fox books, right? Smart, you know, because then you're like, where? Because you're going to be like, I need a Michael J. Fox book. It's really hard to find Back to the Future books in the wild. They're not easy to find. So you'd have to go scrambling for something for him to sign. And there you go. All these retailers are selling these fame books with him on the cover, or, you know, some various covers for it to then take and get him to sign. And, you know, you're happy.
That's crazy. So Matt, let's talk about here. I'm going to jump in and just take us over to the to the crowdsourcing. So you were saying before we jumped on the call, like, this is an interesting article, and why do we do this? Why do we even put out the crowdfunding stuff?
Well, so my favorite part, there's my ring. My favorite part of crowdfunding is that, like, there's nothing for us in here other than just sharing information, because these books don't exist, so they're not in our system. You can't find these books, you can't find them on eBay because they literally don't exist until they're funded. What makes these fun is that if you really don't like FOMO, here you go, or Collector 34 was saying that he got some post-FOMO books too. Anyway, if you don't like FOMO books and you want something unique and you want to be in a small group of collectors with amazing upside in the aftermarket, like you should be paying attention to these articles hands down, and paying attention to crowdsourcing in general, because a lot of these are really sneaky. Some of them are, just are fun Kickstarters just on one end to just support independent creators and help them live, and also help them get into the space. Because what happens with a lot of these Kickstarters is when they're successful, a lot of these bigger publishers will come and then reprint them, which then creates the original values to spike, which is the perfect tie into Mark Spear's books. That Kickstarter was very accessible. It was pretty pricey if you wanted everything. You kind of had to throw in about $1,000 to get it, all the big books to buy everything. But now those, like, a lot of those books sell for that price on just their own, or at least $500. So a lot of people made a lot of money off of that Kickstarter. And that's just kind of where the opportunities lie. So, like, the worst case scenario, you're just supporting a creator. A lot of times, you're getting rare stuff if you're a super fan. Like, if you scroll down, there's a fun entry this week. Keep going to the tick. Keep going.
There you go.
Yeah. So I just discovered this. There's this Planet Comics. It's kind of a large anthology style comic book. I think it's like 60 pages. So it's a thick comic. But this is where the Tick stories are right now. So if you're a Tick fan, like, they're continuing. They have a Tick story. They have these are great Tick covers. Like, that's a fantastic Tick cover. There's an England cover, the original creator of the Tick. He did a cover for this. The art's fantastic inside. Like if you're a Tick fan, like, don't sleep on this, because not a lot of people are buying into this. And what's cool about this Kickstarter is, if you missed the first couple of issues, they have kind of a catch-up thing where you could kind of jump into it and pick up some of those older issues. Just said what was this? A little birdie flew into my Igor saying, a little birdie flew into my work today, and it landed next to me and whispered to me that was super interesting. It said, a long way to cover price announcement is coming. I don't know what that is, but the first thing was the app beta drop. No, we're working on the app now. We're not close to beta right now.
Who is that birdie? You capture that bird.
But we are working hard to get there. So, I mean, this is kind of like an overall, like, I was going to share. Here, I'll share my stuff. Oop, wrong thing. Stop screen. Where's that screen? Here we go.
Do you want me to stop presenting?
No, you keep it. I'll just take over for a second. So, like, Pop Kill was a Kickstarter that was under Paper Films, which was Paul Motti and his wife. I'm a huge fan of her work. Why am I blanking on it? Oh my God. Someone save me. I can't think today. But it was their company that put these out. Oh my God, someone save me. But this was the Adam Hughes book that, like, I call it the Jennifer Lawrence cover.
Almost looks like Drew Barrymore, though.
You think it's Drew Barrymore? I think it's Jennifer Lawrence.
Okay.
Where are you looking?
Eyes, face.
Yeah.
Who's on the cover?
So, I mean, there's just great opportunities to kind of, like, get into these books. Like, this sells for, what is it, $750. This was the original, and this sells for like $750 or $535.
And that was a crowdfunding.
Yeah. Only, like, basically they print to order, so only like 270 were printed. So, like, that's 270 backers. Like, if you go into, let me take you back to some of our last crowdfunding articles. There's some great opportunities here. I'll take you through it. Here's our crowdfunding article. The article just went live, so it says new right there. Last week we highlighted. So we had this really. I think it was it this one. I know it was the week before. So there was a good Lady Mechanica one. If you're looking for one, John.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
I know you're a fan of that series. Yeah, and Igor says, I wish I knew about it when it dropped. That's the whole thing we're doing here. That's what we're trying to do. We're actually going to reformat these. So right now it's a little willy-nilly where you just grab things that we found was interesting. We were doing it once a month, and it was popular. So then we did it to every other week, and now we just do it every week. And so now we're going to rephrase it. So now we're going to do it's going to be split into two styles. So we're going to do new crowdfunding. It's not just Kickstarter. It's Indiegogo. It's what's the other one? Indiegogo.
GoFundMe.
Zoop. So Zoop, Indiegogo, Kickstarter. So if you guys ever see something that's interesting, let us know. But what's fun about it is that you get a chance to highlight some of this, rare stuff. We'll let you know when the new stuff launches, and we'll let you know when the last call. So things that are going to finish before the next article hits. So within the next couple days. So that's how we're going to break it down. So that way you have time to get in at the beginning. And if you forget, like I do all the time, you'll have a chance to get in it at the last minute. But here was a fun one. So we don't do a lot of adult ones. There's a lot of adult crowdfunding books out there, and we don't do a lot. But this one had a lot of interesting things because I'm a big Art Adams fan. And I do like Bill McKay, but Bill McKay is a great guy. We chat with him when we can at conventions. And I do like his style of art too. And look, this is hyper. They were trying to get 5,000, and they got 47,000.
Whoa, jeez.
So they did. So McKay had his cover, but they have this sneaky Arthur Adams cover in there. So it's you can be Arthur Adams collectors are out there in force, and then you scroll to the side here, you could kind of see this is where you can actually sign up. So if you actually go to the book, people are probably mad because they're like, don't talk about this book, keep the numbers down low. If you go to his Nathan Zerdy did one too. I'm trying to find Arthur Adams. But yeah, here's Nathan Zerdy. Only 7 backers on his cover, $22. Their son Kumanaki, who I actually enjoy a lot too. Mike DeBalfo. Where did the Arthur Adams one go? Jeez. Ali Garza. Oh my god.
So how does it work? They put these out there, and then they say if you back it, they already have the covers, right? But they're just saying if you back it, then we'll print it.
Look, 96 people have backed that. Now, granted, those 96 could have bought multiple copies, but 96 people backing theoretically is still, you could probably guess that it's under.
Wait, but Matt, I'm always confused. Can you walk me through it? So yeah. These covers are there, but you bid on the cover for this series, and then they produced that one, even though they've already.
So, for example, you can see my selection right here. So I'm a big Arthur Adams fan, so I ordered one of these. And I got a Nathan Zerdy, and I like Dan Mendoza, but I didn't want to spend $1,000 on this, so I just did those 2 guys. Mm-hmm. So what you do is you go into and you say pledge, and it'll take you to here. I'll add in someone. Oh, it closed. Did this close? No, 12 days to go. So basically, then you go in and you pledge which one you want to go to, and they'll say, okay, great, you're pledging this book. And then it'll take you through the list. Okay, what ones do you want to add on? So you can go through the other covers and you'd be like, okay, I want to add a Dan Mendoza. I want to add a Sun. I love this one over the other one. You basically pick and choose. Now, there are sets where you can do, there's sets that you can do everything. For example, here's all the covers, but it's $700.
Right.
This is again, you want to be careful. You remember that you can easily get lost in these. So keep it really focused when you're doing crowdsourcing. Get the books you want. Keep it soft. Keep it easy. I just got the Arthur Adams one and the Nathan Zerdy. I spent $50 all in, not $700. but that's just not
tomorrow. Matt's going to tell me he spent $700. Watch.
No. I got suckered into that year by by Mr. Smooth Packing.
Seb.
What? Seb, yeah, Sebastian from
Stranger Comics.
Yeah. He got me. I'm a big Tahani Far fan, and they had a Far Out set, and it was like $500, and I was.
If you talk to Matt long enough, you'll convince him of stuff. So that's the trick.
No, not that much. That was painful, and I still feel it. And I'm super cheap. Like that's the thing, it's hard for me to like pull the trigger on this stuff. But I there's just fun opportunities here to find some of the artists that you really love and support them, and support some of these independent creators. There's really interesting, amazing comic books into this too. There's some that we're going to feature next week, but this was a fun find outside of this Planet Comics. This Slices of Life, really interesting story, and it still has a ways to go to get funded. So again, here's the thing to help this book get across the finish line. It's a really sweet story, a really interesting story. I love these books that are kind of more, it's not just about the covers, but it's here's a creator trying to get his concept out into the world, Yeah. And it's kind of like our job to kind of be there to support them and help them across that. So this is one I need to actually back. So here's a good one. So we could do this live. So you can so yeah, they have a ways to go. So if you want to like support it, you can just back it, but without give them a buck or anything. You just want the book here, it's $30. If you want to print, it's like an extra $40. If you're a retailer, you can get you could get a bunch of the books for $75. So it's like 5 copies. Like you can get it looks like you get like 10 copies. So if you want to like sell these at conventions, you kind of and I do like that people offer these early bird ones. This one's already gone, but you can get little extra bonuses. A lot of them will offer the original art. Some of them will do sketches for free. Like there was one that we're showing next week where the artist will draw you a little sketch for like $25.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so the problem is you never know when new artists are doing Kickstarters, because that's the thing. No one advertises this stuff. So like when we went, I just showed you that Art Adams one and that Nathan Zuri, they're not on their social posts at all. Like artists and creators are terrible at marketing. And a lot of them will create videos and they'll put them on YouTube. And I mean, they do the best they can to get the story out, but there's not a lot of people that talk about it. The only ones that I know is like us and Brian McClay's channel. So this is kind of our contribution of trying to highlight stuff. And there's so many more that we're missing. If you find any crowdsource from Soup, Indiegogo.
No, it looks like we're losing Matt. His internet,
whatever it is.
There he is.
If you really love a book and you think it's amazing, let us know and we'll add it. Did I break up?
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit, but I think the message is there. Reach out if you see any other crowdfunding opportunities, and we'll promote it. Because again, it doesn't help us. It's not some, it's just interesting stuff. One of our missions, of course, at Cover Price is to like just support the comic community as best we can. And this is kind of like fun stuff to talk about. Hey, Matt,
and then none of this is paid for. No one asks to be on this. Although sometimes someone will be like, "Hey, I have one. Can you hand me?" Yeah, we'll assess it if there's not a lot of nudity, and it seems interesting. It seems something that I think people will enjoy. Am I breaking up still?
Yeah, your internet's so slow. Let me, hey Matt, let me take over for a second, and while you get that figured out. So we're going to do another giveaway. We're going to do another merch one, and we will get back to giving away some comics. Matt actually had a couple cool ones. We are going to be doing a giveaway for Rogue Sun number 26 and 25, the 1 in 25s. We're going to be doing that coming out this week, so be on the lookout for that. But we're just going to do another t-shirt one. And so the drill is if you type in, let's see here, if you type in hashtag stuff into the comment, you will be entered into it, and we will go from there. But yeah, you just tell me what shirt you want, what size, what logo. The best way to do it is say something like, I want the cyan logo on a blue shirt, extra large. And that makes it easy. It's like ordering a burger. But yeah, we'll be getting back into doing comics and whatnot very soon.
Yeah, Collector, can you hear me better now?
Yeah, there you are. Wait, what did Derek say? NASA's trying to shut Matt down. Yeah,
oh my God. Yeah, they're like talking about crowdsourcing. No, shut it down.
Big crowdsource wants Matt to stop talking. And
but Collector 34 said, yeah, established artists do things too, which is why we showed that tick book. We show a lot of Scott Snyder's always doing a lot of interesting Kickstarters. Ian Bertram, a lot of cool sketchbooks that are on here. We have Tyler Kirkham featured on this one. Again, like none of this is paid for. It's literally just us going through and be like, oh, that's cool. Like, you know.
I always liked when you go to a video store back in the day, and it was like, these are the pics of so and so. You know, like that's kind of what we're doing. It's like, oh, this is cool stuff.
I do try to find the buried treasure. So I will find like oh my God, here was a book that I bought. So I'm a big let's see if I can find it. What's that? Oh my gosh, I'm blank. Maybe I can't find it. But anyhow, you just find like a lot of artists will be just really sneaky. They'll have a variant cover offered in there, and you know, you would never know it.
Art of Tyler Kirkham Kickstarter. What's this one about?
It's just an art book. Is pretty much
it's art book. Oh, gotcha. All of this stuff. Oh, okay.
The only thing we don't show is a lot of the nudity stuff, and there's also some AI stuff that, you know, people are, at least what I think it is. Yeah. Are you guys going to know about the big CGC announcement tomorrow? No, I'm curious too. I did see that. Yeah, I'm curious to see what that big announcement. We do not know. They did not share anything.
Boo.
I'm super curious. They did say for collectors in general, it was like broad for across their, I think, the coin grading and so I imagine that there was, I don't know. I don't even know what to guess. I have no idea unless they start their own marketplace. I doubt that's it.
I don't know if that'll happen, but yeah, we were
talking. The only thing I can imagine that they haven't got into is grading action figures and manga. So that could be maybe some of the next. But they're saying it's a really big announcement, and so it has to be bigger than those. So yeah, we're just wildly speculating here.
Yeah. Well,
are we going to cover that Thursday? The thing is, we do think about this stuff a lot. And it's kind of like, do we need to cover it? Because everyone else and their mother is going to cover it. So we do take that into consideration. Like, if everyone's already talking about it, do we need to also jump into it and share that information? A lot of times we kind of just say no. I don't think.
Well, if it impacts like the prices and stuff like that, or like the stuff, of course, yeah, we'll talk about it. But
if it is really big news and it does have a really big impact, we'll talk about it next Monday for sure.
Yeah. All right, let's do this giveaway.
I got to go pick up my daughter. That's right.
Yeah. Okay, ready? Here we go. The winner is... Watch, it's going to be JSS again.
Yep.
Okay.
So Lando's been...
Hey, nice.
Lando needs his shirts, so he never got his stuff. So.
Oh, you know what? It's funny, Lando. Your stuff is in my car. It was because Canada was not accepting mail from the USA when I tried to ship it. So if you guys are opening up things now and accepting things,
opening your borders,
then we'll take care of it.
I think it was Lando specifically said he did not want it to come through. He's like, no US made product in their land.
Yeah. We'll get it to you, Lando, I promise. Sorry. But it really is in the back of my car.
Well, we had a book. I have the same problem. We had a winner for our CGC giveaway right after C2E2. It was the Venom, the Mary Jane JTC book in 9.8. Someone in the Ukraine won that, and I can't get it to them. So I'm trying to figure out on how to get this book to the Ukraine.
I just thought it was a horrible joke, and I can't.
No, there's no joke there. But
no joke.
It is like, I even emailed him like, "Can we mail stuff to you?"
What did you give him the option of going? You said like, "We'll send money instead," and he was like, "I want the book."
Yeah, he was like, "I want the book." And I'm like, "Okay, we're gonna try and get you the book."
So Nailed Albuquerque. Send me John at Cover Price, or you can go to info at Cover Price. Send me the t-shirt that you want, the size, the logo color, and your shipping address, and we'll get that out to you ASAP. And for all the other people who reached out and said, "Hey, John, you didn't send that to me yet." Sorry, I sent it to you. I sent it all last week. As soon as you guys mentioned it, I thought I sent them all. So my apologies for that. But everything else.
It's a nice change for me.
It is a nice change. It is a nice change. Yeah. I feel it, man. I feel it.
This feels right.
All right. Well, on that note, Matt, I know you got to take off, so we'll end it. But thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with us. We got some more cool stuff coming up. If it is cool, the CGC announcement, we'll talk about it. Beyond that, Matt, anything to say before we go?
No, I think that's it. I mean, we're pretty good. Come back for the top 10 tomorrow with Laura, and then Shakers with Lando on Thursday. Yeah, there you go. We definitely need one of those little siren. You know what? We didn't play any clips today.
Want to hit one up before we go?
Yeah, I feel like
you got some really interesting lighting happening. That's like God is touching you from behind or something. Oh, now it's just horrible. When you lean forward, it was coming off of you like a
like a halo, like a halo,
almost like a halo.
Yeah. Let's see what. Oh, here. This is one I haven't been able to play. I do like this one. It's completely unrelated.
Can you imagine if we had these when we were 12? Even better. We got them when we're 40.
That's one of those clips that stays in my head pretty much every day, and it's highly relatable.
I think you've
what you discussed. You were with your family walking through the toy aisle, and you wanted something for yourself,
and I got it.
What? So is that a Lego? Is it Lego or?
It's a Lego limited edition Transformer Optimus Prime. It actually transforms.
That's cool.
There's an Energon cube.
And you know, those are all choking hazards now too.
Oh man, you're right. I gotta think about that stuff.
You're just gonna have to put up on a high shelf.
Next time you see me, I'm choking.
your son, when he's like 4, is gonna, hey, can we build this? That's collectible.
You know, it's funny is I was telling my wife, like I was like, oh, I'm gonna put this together, and I looked at my son who's 6 months old. I was like, and someday you will break this.
Yeah, no kidding. Igor asked, did I pick up the Free Zone Cherry book? It was interesting. So I checked it out. What they were only offering him 2 different ways: one via subscription, and then 2 via metal. So you couldn't buy the regular ones unless I missed something. But the subscription box was $200, so it was a little hefty for me. Mm-hmm. But it seemed to be the only way you can get the regular Jenny books. But that cover was good. We'll have to highlight it next time. But that's not Kickstarter. These are retailers doing their own covers to, some of the Cherry books. It's Happy Comics. Yeah, there was a regular. Oh, but it was signed. Yeah, I saw that. Again, I was looking for the regular ones, and I thought maybe they just sold out. But I don't think they offered them. it was interesting. Not to judge. I just was looking for the regular ones because I hate spending money.
Matt's very judgy. No. Yeah, his judginess is due to cheapness.
Yeah, no, super. I'm like, it's really hard for me to pull the trigger on more than like $20 on a book. I like to dig. I like to get my books for $1. How about
what the funny thing is? Matt is one of the most generous people I've ever met. Like, I used to come up to his house and he's like, "Oh, I have another comic here. Just take it," and he'd give me like $50 comic books, no problem. But when he wants to spend money, he's like, he won't do it.
Won't do it.
But when he has it, he's generous with it. On that note,
I like to support creators, so I will try to do it. You know, especially if there's an Art Adams cover in there. You got my dollar. I definitely have to run.
Yeah, I'm going to keep you honest. I told you I'd get you out of here at 7. So
thanks, folks.
Thanks, everybody. Keep those comics covered.
All right.